Alrighty, and so we're back. We still have some problems. For some reason I can't get the chat window to show up. I'll have to reboot the computer again, but for the time being, we just had a walk-in come in with a iPhone 7 Plus that needs a screen repair. So you all get to watch me do a screen repair. Well, replacement, not really repair. And then I've got a iPhone 6 Plus that I'm gonna do with a Touch IC issue, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's get into this phone. The way that I open these, which everybody does theirs different, these have an adhesive sticker on the inside which does the waterproofing. But I like to just take my regular old tweezers and just kind of work it in there along the edge and pull it up just a little bit to where I can get a pick in there, and then I can run that pick down the edges, and that way you can cut that seal. And if you get a thin enough pick, it doesn't really put much pressure on the screen itself. So if I can get around this corner here. There we go. Okay, so before I open it, I want to make sure that it still works after we cut that seal. Alright, so the screen's still good. We're going to let it boot all the way up, and then I'm going to turn it back off. Don't forget to like this. The first stream was not very good. I'm sure we'll get a couple of dislikes because that seems to be the common theme lately with the videos, but it's whatever. Can't float everybody's boat. Alright, so the screen still works. So we'll power it down. So I've got the seal cut all the way around the edge here from each side all the way up to this point. Now the seal still goes up into the corners up here, so you've got to kind of work it back a little bit. You can use some heat here if you really want to. I don't normally. I just use a little bit of tension and twisting action to get it to come free. So I've got it twisted just a little bit to where I can get on this top edge here and cut this adhesive. Alright, and then we can twist it the other way and do the same thing. So we've got that adhesive mostly cut. We got just a little bit in this corner that's holding it. And the difference in the iPhone 7 series, if you all haven't taken them apart yet, the 7 series, instead of the traditional iPhone 6 where it just folds up, for some reason they decided they're going to put the cables on the sides. So when you open these, it opens like a clamshell in the opposite direction. So I've got new seals we can put in here, which is always a good idea. That way the waterproofing is as good as it's going to be. These still aren't waterproof. That's a big misconception that's kind of been spread around, that oh, they're waterproof. They're not really waterproof. They've got more waterproofing, but they're not waterproof by any means. We still get water damaged iPhone 7s in. The 6S has almost the same amount of waterproofing that the 7 does, just slightly less around like your buttons and stuff. Alright, so get my tri-wing. Anyone know where I can get a decent battery for MacBook 1502? Austin, surprisingly enough, I buy a lot of my MacBook batteries on Amazon. I usually buy the MacBook batteries that have at least an 18-month warranty. I have not had a single problem out of any of those. The companies that offer a long warranty on their batteries, they tend to be more expensive, but they're usually good sells, and they're not shitty designs, so that's what I typically use. If not, I have the luxury that my local Apple store here, or authorized Apple store, they will allow me to buy batteries through them, but they are more expensive to buy them from Apple. They're about $100 and something through Apple. If I buy them through companies on Amazon that have long warranty periods, they're about $60. 60 to 70 bucks, right in that range. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect my cables. Alright, so battery, I always disconnect the battery first, because if you do not, you can burn out the backlight filters pretty easily. Let's see, do you have trial wing or are you Phillips? There's still trial wing on the 6 Plus, or 7 Plus. So on the 7 they have Phillips heads up the top, and then on the 7 Plus they have regular, or they have the trial wing still, which makes no sense to me, but whatever. So just going to take all these out. Alright, now the screen is disconnected. So now we get down to the fun stuff. Alright, so we gotta take the camera assembly up off the top, and we gotta take the bottom button assembly off. We don't have to take the back plate off because the OEM refurbs that we get come with the back plate already on. One thing I do want to test before we go any further, it's going to be if the screen is good. Most of our screens, I don't think we've had any issues with them, but occasionally you will run into some that will give you problems. Was it a screw out of the side of the screen already? Well, hot damn. A screw came out of the screen, the original one on Apple's screen here. Fell right out, was sitting in the fucking phone. Alright, so I'm going to connect my cables back up, my digitizer cables, and I want to test the functionality of the screen before I go and swap everything over, because worst case scenario, you go and do all this work and then the screen doesn't work. So we'll let that fully boot up. It's going to bitch about not seeing the home button, but that's not a big deal. When we put the home button back, that error will go away. What's up, Tim? We now have the adjustable camera. It's my webcam now mounted on a microphone boom stand. They will take a little longer to boot when the home button's not connected. I think it's because the system's bitching about the fact that it's not there, but it's downpouring outside. Alright, so the phone finally booted up after bitching for a while. Unable to activate Touch ID, I know, because I don't have the button plugged in. Alright, but screen seems to be working. We'll make sure the touch still works here. Yep, touch is good, so we'll go ahead and power this down, and then we'll swap out the screen parts. Alright, let's see if our backlight is off. Looks to be, so we'll disconnect our battery. Alright. So battery's disconnected. Disconnect my connectors and my LCD and my touch. Set that off to the side and let's start doing transfers. So the main thing that I see normally with these is people tend to mess up, I guess, when doing the home button and the front flex. I try to be extremely careful with them because they are pretty sensitive. So with the home button, I'll do this under the scope so you all can see. With the home button, I always like to take off the center tri-wing first off the back of the home button, and make sure you keep these in order. Also pay attention to how they sit on the shields. So they have a certain placement. I think that helps with grounding, so you have to make sure that you put these back the way that they come out, in order. Some of them may be slightly longer than others, so I like to keep them in order anyway. Alright, so our home button backing is off. Now with the actual home button itself, the cable is not attached to anything, it just kind of free floats here. Hello.
Hi.
What can I do for you?
I'm sorry to bother you.
You're fine.
I was looking for, I guess, have you heard of the Macintosh Yates?
Yes, they're upstairs.
Okay.
Just go down the center hallway there,
Okay.
and then right as you go around the corner back here, there's a stairwell to your right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I guess they're doing job interviews or something. People have been coming in all day. Why can we get rain but you can't? I don't know. Because we're near mountains and in the middle of the United States. Alright, so what I do is I like to put two tweezers in, one on the bottom, one on top, so I can separate the cable and press down while I'm pulling up on the home button. And that way they will come apart and you don't rip anything. And then I like to fold this button, or the flex back, excuse me. And then I like to come in with my tweezers and I will slowly start to lift up the ribbon cable without destroying it there. So this process I like to go fairly slowly, just kind of running it under, cutting the adhesive. Alright, till it's all the way up. Alright, so it's loose. Now the home button on these actually goes out the front. So what you'll do is you'll press the button out of the front of the phone and then follow it out through the front. So that's the home button. Now the home button's fairly easy in comparison to this fucking top. They changed the flex on these and they did this stupid double fold on the front camera assembly, which makes no sense to me, but it's Apple. What do you do? The old system I felt was perfectly fine. This one has like this double folded camera assembly that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. So I'm going to take all our screws out, take out our speaker. Alright, so the normal iPhone 6 and stuff, and I'm sure you all know, folds over like this. Well, there's a part here where it folds back over itself like twice. So if you look at this, it comes down, it folds back this way, and then goes here, and then it folds back under again. And just makes no sense to me. It's just a really dumb design, I think. But let's gently, you want to kind of pry on both sides of the ambient light sensor. You want it to come up fairly easy. Get the adhesive cut on the back side. So you can see the double fold in this cable. If I have to, I'll just break this thing out with the entire bracket on it. I'm not going to risk ripping the sensor off. And then once we have that out, we can just go back in and pop it out. There we go. So that's loose. Now the next thing is this is all adhesive down. So you have to come in here and get under it. And then it also runs all the way over here for the camera, or for the speaker part. I just feel like they took a fairly simple design from the 6 and they're like, how can we make this really complicated for the 7? Okay, we got it almost all up now. Okay. Come on. What's hanging on here? There we go. Our front microphone adhesive was stuck there. More waterproofing. They put a film over it there. But that's the front assembly. So that's all we have to take off for these. We can swap everything over now. Alright, so let's pull our adhesive strip for the mic. Place it in the proper position. I like to line up the pegs here because these kind of tell you where it has to go for the speaker. So we got the speaker mounted, or the speaker mount mounted. Alright, we can put our light sensor back in. Or proximity, actually, the other one's the light sensor. There is one thing I need to transfer, I just noticed. On the black screens, they have a white sticker that goes in front of the ambient light sensor. And if you do not have that, or proximity, or whatever it is, I think it's ambient light, and then the other one's proximity. If you don't have that sticker in there, you can get problems with the screen not turning off when it's supposed to. So see the white sticker in here? The white screens don't have this because they're white, but the black screens do. So we need to transfer that over. Now we'll push our light sensor down in there. Okay, so that all should be fairly good. We'll put our speaker back in. We want to make sure that it lines up with our speaker mesh hole. There we go. It'll hold itself in place whenever you get it lined up properly. You shouldn't have to have much force on it to make it sit down. Alright, so I'm going to put my screws back in. When you put these screws in, you don't have to be like super tightening them. You just get them down to where they feel tight, and they should be in the right spot. Last screw, and then we'll put our home button in. Okay. Make sure it's sitting flush. Looks good. Camera's lined up. Alright, so time to put our home button in. Fiddly as hell. Yeah, it's annoying. Screens are not, they're not difficult, they're just tedious. Screens are tedious work. Especially on the newer ones. The older ones not so much. Alright, so I'm going to rotate this until it's sitting where I want it. That looks good. So I'm going to fold that up, this under, line up my mounting holes. There we go. Everybody's lined up. Make sure that plugs in well. That's good. Now we'll put our bracket back on. The bracket sits on top of everything, does not go under. I like to put the one that holds the home button in first, just to make sure that it's pulling up on the home button against the frame. Okay, that one's in. Now we can put our other screws in. I really think it's dumb that Apple actively tries to put screws in different different like proprietary screws and stuff in these. It's just dumb. It's a blatant show that they're actively trying to thwart people from working on these. I mean, this tri-wing screw, there's no purpose of it. It doesn't help you in any way. And honestly, the tri-wing screw is just, it's junk, period. Alright, there's one screw I need to transfer here. Like, why put Phillips head and tri-wings on the phone? Like, if there's some great advantage of putting a tri-wing screw in the phone, why wouldn't you use it everywhere? This mat's been great. It's been awesome. It doesn't bubble up. The only thing that I can say I don't like about it is when I do reballing, the blue mat would kind of give with the stencil, and that actually helped me with reballing. Now with this pad, it doesn't really move much, so that's been kind of a pain, but not really, I guess. I don't know. Actually, I forgot. I need to put a gasket back in this first. B and C. Which generation is it? Okay, so it's probably a 6th generation. I may have to order the battery, but we can put them in. Okay. No, let me see what battery they use. I may have iPod Touch 5th gen batteries, but I don't know if they're the same. Let me make sure. No, it looks like they use a different model. Yeah, it would be something I'd have to order. That's no problem. Bye. Alright, let me go grab a gasket to put in this thing. First I need to clean the old one out. Which can be tedious. Alright, let me go grab the gasket for it. Key here is to get your sides down really well first. The top and bottom kind of give a little bit, but the sides are the stretchy gasket material and they don't like to give much. So I try to get my sides down as well as I can. You're not going to be perfect, but as long as the seal is in there and will help keep the phone as waterproof as possible, that is what we're going for. Alright, so we got our seal in. Nice new gasket in there, so it runs all the way down. Alright, so now we'll put our screen on. I'm going to get my camera plugged in, and then after I do that I'm going to go ahead and boot it up. Make sure that it seems to be functioning properly. As long as they left the password, which we request they leave it for all devices, but some people are weird about that. Try to lay this so it doesn't touch the gasket. Alright, so phone's booting up. Late for class? No, we're doing simple stuff right now. We're doing screens. Woo! This is the easy stuff. Alright, so see how much faster it boots up when the home button's connected? So we don't have an error anymore for the home button. If we press it, it works. Let's see. Put in their passcode. Camera, rear camera works. Front camera works. Alright. Let's try out voice memo. Light sensor works. Okay, I can hear the top mic or the top speaker working. So we're all good. So let's turn this thing off and finish it up. Hopefully it's not stuck to my gasket too much. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to get something to support the screen while we finish this up. I'll be loving ladies. It'll be a lovely lady. Oh, walking by the shop. How much are the gaskets? Ah, they're cheap. I think they're like 20 cents a piece or something like that. They're worth the investment, just for the fact that A, it helps keep the original waterproofing, which is good because customers are naive and think that my phone's waterproof, I can do what I want with it. So even though it's not technically waterproof, it's water resistant. I tell people that all the time. They come in with their iPhone 7 and they're looking at cases, and I have waterproof cases here for the iPhone 7. They're like, why do you need a waterproof case? My phone's already waterproof. I'm like, no, it's water resistant. You can still get water in it, trust me. We've seen plenty of them. I've already seen a few iPhone 7s with water damage, so. Unopened originals. Also with the gasket, the main benefit that I like about them is the gasket, when you close that screen, it pulls it down tight. So you're not going to get any lifting or any type of like popping or anything when sometimes these come in and the frame might be a little bent. With the gasket in there, feel free to go in your home screw, thank you. With the gasket in there, it pulls that seal down really well, and you won't have any problems with the screen moving around at all. It also looks better on you as a company, I think, if you put the gasket in, because it shows that you put in a little extra effort to keep it original. God, I hate these tri-wing screws. They just don't fucking stay. They won't stay on your screwdriver. They just fucking fiddle around. They're not any stronger. They're not better for the fucking phone. Alright, so the main thing that I always stay concerned with when putting these back together is I like to get the front edge down in the groove. And then I like to look and see where my cables are on this side. So on the side, what I'll do is I'll actually kind of bring the phone this way some, the actual screen, and I'll push those cables down past that lip. So as they go in, I don't have to worry about the cables getting pinched. And I have seen cables that have gotten pinched because of the somebody not paying attention. So now I'm going to just firmly press around the edge where that seal is. I want to make sure that it seals down nice and tight. And if that seal's in there, you honestly don't even need screws. I mean, that thing's flush as shit. It's not moving. B and C. Yes, we do. The regular iPhone 6 is 80 bucks. Usually about 20 minutes. No problem. Yes, it's possible to replace them with Philips. The only problem is if you do that, then you fucking have to worry about if Apple's gonna bitch. They're not supposed to bitch about it anymore. It's supposed to be completely covered, even aftermarket screens. But we've still had customers that have come in, they're like, I have my screen replaced and now Apple's saying they're not going to cover it under warranty. I'm like, well, technically by their own rules they say they will. So you need to go talk to them. There you go. So it's hard to show, but I mean that screen sits like perfect. It's like I can't feel really the edge of it. It rolls over perfectly into the frame. It sits down nice and tight. You don't have to worry about any type of lifting or anything. And now you know that the phone is still sealed up well. We'll make sure that our home button still works here. It does. Alright, so everything should be good. And that screen is nice and pretty. I'll go ahead and try to get some of the air bubbles out so that they see it and they're like, ooh. We've had people come in and they'll see the screen protector on them and they're like, what's wrong with the screen? I'm like, nothing. It's got a screen protector on it. Alright, so that phone's done. 7 Plus, ready to be picked up by the customer. Put on here the device info. Micah is currently out on a service call. We had a lady come in this morning and she said that she had talked to AT&T about her internet service and it wasn't working, so she had the AT&T people come out and she said they couldn't fix her internet issues. I was like, AT&T couldn't fix their own internet problems? And she said no. And then she said she had another company come out and said they couldn't get her internet working, and she brought her computer and her router in, which does us no good to have the router, but I understand what she was trying to do. And she was like, can you please fix this? And I was like, well, we're gonna have to take it to your house. So Micah took it out there and he's trying to get it working. He's been gone for almost an hour, so if he's not done by now, then there's probably something wrong. But I told her it was $35 an hour to come out and fix it at her house. She's like, well, the other place only charged me $25. And I was like, well, did they fix it? And she said no. And I was like, well, you paid $25 for somebody not to fix your stuff. I was like, if we can't fix it, then I won't charge you. But I'm fairly confident that Micah can get it figured out. If not, I can probably just kind of step him through it. What I have a feeling is she's having issues with her actual connection speed being slow, and it's not actually the internet itself that's not connecting. Alright, so I got to order screens today. That was our last 7 Plus black screen. You charge $75. See, we charge fairly low. I charge $60. I charge $35 an hour for businesses, but we charge $70 for the first hour and then $35 every hour after. Yeah, the Geek Squad, they charge quite a bit. Alright, anyway, so let's move on to this 6 Plus Touch IC. I figured I would do an easy one this morning before we get into the Poo Phone. The Poo Phone's going to be a nightmare, I already know it. So let me get you zoomed in because people want to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to make it as close as I can get it. Hopefully the autofocus will, there it goes, will do its thing. Alright, so hopefully this up close view will really add to the stream. Like, my camera is literally like that far from the board, and I've got the zoom all the way in, I think. Let me check and see. Actually, that might be all the way out. We can probably get close. Let's see. Evidently, that's as close as I can get. Let's turn off autofocus. Does it get better? Well, the zoom was better earlier. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so let's do a Touch IC up close and personal version 2.0. I feel like the microscope view kind of gives you an idea of what I'm doing, but evidently people want to see what I'm doing outside of the area that I'm working in or something. Maybe I'm doing some voodoo tricks with my hands and people can't see it. Let's turn the hot air up. I modified my hot air station. It's a little quieter now. I took the air hose and it was externally venting, and that's because it has a vacuum unit on it, but I took that off and put it all internal to the casing now, so it's considerably quieter. I still need to open up the inlet hole a little bit. It's small because they needed it for the vacuum hose, but with if I open up that hose a little bit, it'll get even quieter. PCB files? I don't have PCB files, Tim. I use ZXW. I have the schematics. Do you want the schematics, Tim? I mean, those are just the PDF files. Bring out the doo-doo phone? Well, let's get the Touch IC done, then I'll bring out the doo-doo phone. Alright, so let's see. Let's see where I can put this so you all can best see it. I don't know if there's any best area to put it for viewing like this. Alright. Got our chip off. It was stuck on that bottom corner, so I had to heat it for a split second longer, and then in the process I bridged all those, but no big deal. We got cleaned up anyway. So I did get a new ultra bright UV light that one of the guys had in Nashville when we were at that event. I really liked it, so I went and found it the other day and got it ordered. Now I have it. Trying to use pads. Well, it'd help if I turn my iron on, right? I used pads at the beginning and I just didn't like it. Not necessarily because pads is a bad program, but I hated the fact that I had to search around for a file. That's why I like ZXW. Like, I don't have to go search for anything. They put everything where I need it. So that's my only qualm with pads, particularly. BNC? Yes. Yes. What can I do for you? Hit your car? No. What number is that? Okay. What number was left on your car? I didn't say anything. I asked what number was left on your car. Okay. My insurance company is, where are you at? Where do you live? Where do you live? Okay, that's fine. Where do you live? Here, I'll put it on my...
I don't know. Right here in my own hand.
I'm asking you, where do you, which city do you live in?
It's been pranked by prankdial.com.
Oh. I was gonna say, I knew it had to be a prank.
You just been pranked by prankdial.com.
Prankdial.com. They almost had my number exactly, but they missed it by a few.
What the hell is that?
It's one of those fake dollar things.
You just been pranked by prankdial.com.
That can. What the fuck? This guy doesn't understand. Okay, so a guy brought us an all-in-one computer that had that has cockroaches in it. So we didn't work on it because it has cockroaches in it. And evidently, I told him we're not going to fix it because of the amount of cockroaches in it. We don't want to risk getting them in our building. And he said, will you be able to fix it? And I said, no. We tested it, and after finding cockroaches in it, felt it wasn't worth the risk of getting them here. It seems to be a possible screen issue. He said, well, let me know. And I said, and then he wrote me today, said, I'm waiting to hear from your reply. I said, no, we won't be able to fix it unless you'd like to clean it out first. He said, yeah, go ahead and clean it. I'm explaining to him that we're not going to touch his stuff until he cleans it out. Pop up anytime I go to print. I keep clicking print, eventually it does. We're just start doing it today. The guy that brought us that all-in-one with the cockroaches in it.
Oh. Yeah. Why, does he got something else?
No, he keeps asking me if we're going to fix it. I'm like, no, we're not going to fix it. It has cockroaches in it unless you would like to clean it out, and then we'll fix it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, clean it out and fix it. I was like, no. You clean it out, and then we'll fix it. Fucking idiots, man.
Oh my god.
Micah.
What?
I'm out of acetone, Micah.
What you got acetone?
Micah. Did you get that lady shit figured out?
Yeah.
What was it?
She had they added some kind of Microsoft download thing on there, and it kept adding a second network adapter type on there. So,
On the computer?
yeah, so as soon and it was bogging down her internet speed big time, so I disabled it and then deleted that adapter out there, and it started running fine. I mean, PNC for some reason just ran slow as shit, but she was using
It's probably her website.
Internet Explorer for that too.
Well, it's part of their website,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But everything else is fine?
Facebook loaded up fine. Yeah.
Is she happy?
Yeah,
She get $35 from her?
I got a whole $35.
Good. Well, PC Guru only charged me $25 not to fix it. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Well, I guess you can pay us money not to fix your computer. Man, it's downpouring out there.
Yeah.
Give me MS Downloader? I don't know. No, they're talking about it on stream. Away with you, winch!
Let's make a mess here and get the floor.
Do you still have the bottle you made into a funnel?
Oh god, I don't even know, Chris.
Well, you did it ass backwards last time. Fill that up in Kenna's water thing.
Fill up your kid's water bowl
Yep.
with acetone.
Yeah, with acetone. Hey, we got more mailing work. Sweet. We got a few of them to do today. Hopefully we can get all caught up.
Wait, what water was this?
I don't know. Smell it. Make sure it's not poison. Smell normal?
Smells, I can't smell nothing.
Okay, it's good then. Be gone, peasant. Give her some of those roaches to go with the other bugs on her computer? Yeah. I did a 7 Plus while you were gone. You slacked off. Micah, acetone. ASAP. ASAP Rocky. People are waiting, Micah.
Wait all damn day.
Micah says you all can wait all damn day. We need to call the lady too on this.
What lady?
Your mom. Actually, I need to get a hold of Seth and see if he has any 6S Pluses, and then call that lady about her
My
computer.
mom doesn't need 6S Plus. I mean 6S anymore, Chris.
Aziz, light. I think the place upstairs is doing interviews. There's a lot of people coming in and out. They're all dressed up.
I think I should go up and dress I am.
Yes. It's like, hey man,
I'm gonna fuck shit up.
heard y'all need a man to do some stuff.
I'll do some stuff. Don't even care if it's legal.
I'll do stuff all over this place.
Shit all over these walls.
Shit on these walls, Ray. Everyone's telling you to hurry up, Micah.
Well, I'm hurrying here.
Micah's hurrying, guys. Stop pressuring him. I don't pressure him ever.
No.
Micah. What are you doing?
I
have an X-Acto knife. You could have done that a lot easier. Micah uses his $20 fucking side cutters to cut a bottle open instead of just using an X-Acto knife. Aziz, light.
Aziz, light.
Light.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's an alien.
Ooh, it's an alien.
Oh!
Okay, so the kid with the MacBook with the SSD that we haven't heard from in weeks, he called today and he was like, "Hey, I haven't heard anything from you. What's going on with it?"
I called him 3 times.
I know.
What, did you tell him that?
Yes, and I told him, I was like, "What's your number so we can make sure we have the right number here?" So he gave us the number. I'm going to match it up to the one you have.
Alright.
And if it's different, then we know why we can't get a hold of him.
Probably.
Because he's an artard. Have you called the lady on that Mac already?
Yeah. She said she's going to come in today.
Oh, okay. Also, what all did you do on that business computer for the trucking company?
I backed up the hard drive and reinstalled Windows on theirs, and then put all their shit back on.
What? How much was it? 55?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let her know.
125.
125.
Oh god, I'm making a fucking mess. Oh god.
Seriously?
Yeah. Fuck.
You got paper towels?
I know, but still, it's gonna start eating right away.
Have I gotten half his workload yet? No. He's redirected some people to me, but I haven't got half his workload yet.
Who?
Jason at STS Telecom.
They're gonna send us all their work?
He said he was going to redirect some people to me. So far, we've only gotten one guy. What's a D-rater? A drader.
Dreidel. Fucking guy over there spinning his menorah.
991. What's 991?
Oh, here it is. Much better.
Micah, your skills are beyond... Oh, Micah. Micah.
My hand's gonna be so fucking dry.
You're gonna eat all the fucking tile up back there.
I am, Chris. That's my objective here.
Your objective. I object.
I object to your objective.
Dude, this morning, fucking Kenna ripped the biggest fucking fart, and it was so fucking terrible.
Why'd you let her do it?
I don't know. Her farts are terrible, though.
Why'd you let her?
They smell of rich mahogany and many leather-bound books.
No, they do not.
They do.
Smell like
Actually,
dog
yeah,
shit.
they don't. They do smell like dog shit.
Oh god.
These aren't the droids you're looking for. Yeah. I get weird looks too. I get weird looks when I talk to you all in chat when people are in here. They're like, is he talking to Is he talking to himself? Why is he talking to himself? Your mom goes to college, Micah.
Your mom goes to my house in the weekend.
It's crazy how much I've used this toothbrush. Look how much it's worn down. It's like, it's at an angle. Me like cookies. Oh, oh. Thank you.
Aren't you just hilarious, Chris?
Piss off.
Get the fuck out of my face! I know, Kenna. No respect.
No, I get no respect.
No respect. I can't talk like him. He's dead, though, so it doesn't matter. God damn, Kenna.
Kenna's like, I'm allergic to your bullshit.
No. My glasses are not, Kenna.
Alright, so let's do some megazoom.com / megazoom ultra mega zoom.
I'm zooming in on your mom, scoping her out.
Yeah? She's looking like a fine Liberace. Alright, so we got our little pad cleaned off there. Why are we buffering? Quit buffering. I'm gonna buffer your buffer. They're gonna, after I get done, they're gonna call me Buffalo Bill, cause I'm a buffer. I'm gonna buffer so hard. Buffering. We had 59 frame drops. Y'all can fuck off. 59 frames lost. Where do lost frames go? That's the question. If you drop 59 frames, do those frames still exist, or are they just non-existent? Do they defy the laws of Newton and conservation of energy? Keep it from buffering? Eh, that's funny. That's funny. The bit bucket is a real thing. Poor Kenna? No, not poor Kenna. Kenna's got a luxurious life. Kenna lives in the lap of luxury. The hardest thing Kenna has to do all day is decide how much she wants to sleep. You drank too much coffee again. What does that normally equal? Does that mean you have to go to the bathroom? Micah, you destroy all my blades.
I didn't even touch it.
It's destroyed, Micah. Blade destroyed. You get really hyper? Caffeine doesn't really make me hyper, I don't think. At least I don't notice it. Jittery like my stream? This camera right here is jittery. Alright, let's cut this little wire here. Martin's gonna leave me a thumbs down and tell me that my stream's too jittery. How many here know what the term bit bucket comes from? Unfortunately, I'm old enough to know an empty one. Bit bucket? I'm not sure. Would it have something to do with the paper cartridges that were once used and they throw them away. Or maybe even the older stuff, the tape reels that they used to use. Alright, so we got our jumper made there. Nice and pretty. Nice and pretty.
Hey, can I help you?
Well, I want to check it for the, let's say for Mr. Jack Emerson.
Okay.
It's ready or?
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-oh.
What was the quote on this one? Same thing. I do it back up and restore. It'd be 55, wouldn't it?
You can just do 45 on it.
All right. It'd be $45.
Cool light. So this is a 10 watt, like 9 LED super bright light. Let this cure for a second. Inject some chemo. Maybe. Who needs chemo? I don't see any yet. So this light does a pretty quick job of curing this. It shouldn't take but maybe 30 seconds or so. We didn't charge them the first time they came here, did we?
Huh?
We didn't charge them anything the first time they were here, did we?
I don't think so.
Yep, I guessed it right. Woohoo! The little paper cards that they used to use to program computers. ThinkPad's the best computer you've ever had? I had a ThinkPad, an older one.
Still O's, it looks like.
From what?
This one here, test power button, spoiler cleaner.
It should have been already paid.
Did he call him or yet? Not yet. He called you or not yet?
He called
He
earlier
called
and asked
earlier.
when it would be
Oh,
done.
Yeah.
Where?
didn't-
Outside.
Okay, hold on just a second. I'll do that. That's an old one. Yeah.
Cheap time. A cheap.
There you go, man.
Alrighty.
You have a good day.
I'm going to
Yeah.
A power cable?
Yes. I think so. That is
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. there. Can I help you?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
We took this over to the flea market. He was over there.
Uh-huh.
And he completely cleaned it out where there was nothing, made it like brand new again, and we did not get our cord back.
Which cord was it?
The one that
The
goes
power cord?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on just a minute.
Now how I can prove that, I can't prove it. Is that a brand new one?
Probably.
You don't have, well then we need to help pay for it or something.
It's fine. If we got yours, then we got it. Just want to make sure. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Another thing, how do you have to put something in here to watch a movie?
What do you mean?
Well, we took it. All we use it for, we keep it in our camper, and we took it down there the other day, and we could not watch a movie.
Did you have a
Yes.
DVD?
Yes. I've got one here. If you want to see what, if you can make it work, then without going on the internet or anything, well, I'd be glad to pay you for it.
So Windows 10.
I'm not sure.
If it is, it requires you to download a player for some reason because Windows decided media player wasn't necessary anymore. BLC is a good one.
And it did before, so we know it. You know, we know it's capable, but I just don't know how to bring it back again. We haven't used it for one thing since he took everything out, so it's brand new.
A brand new old computer.
Yeah, brand new old computer. I did put a little super glue on that key that was loose.
Loose. Does it stay?
Yes, sir, it has.
Let's put glue on something
No.
now.
Flux. Helps the solder melt.
Oh, I see. It's kind of like doing surgery.
It's tedious. Definitely tedious.
His back surgery, they put opened up his back and put
DVD
a
I can
camera
test
in.
here.
Yeah. With the
Work through the screen.
scope, yeah.
This morning because I thought you might be asking.
Good thinking, dear.
How have y'all been?
We've been doing good.
That's good.
Just haven't been up there that terrible much.
Yeah. Haven't seen you in a while.
It's when it's good weather. In his Saturday weekend off, we like to go camping.
Well, I understand that.
We got another old apple that my dad left with me. We'd like to know what you think of.
Okay. Do you have it with you, or you
Yes,
want
sir.
to bring? Okay.
But go ahead and do what you're doing. We're not in a hurry. Today was a rainy day, so we decided to come to town.
Let's see what you got. It might be worth hanging on to just because it's an antique.
Yeah, it's an oldie. It's definitely an oldie. What we got here? PowerBook. Yep, PowerBook 1400.
Is it worth anything to, like, if hers goes down? It's not, is it?
No, these don't even. I don't even think these run modern OSs anymore.
Okay.
Basic.
Probably runs the old stuff. I'll tell you one thing though. The guy across the street at the place. That's the name of it. It's called the place. He has some old Macs, and if there was some parts or something, he may have some if he wanted to get some stuff replaced on it, like some hinges or stuff. But
We don't want it.
well, he may take it if you give it to him.
Okay.
He likes the old Mac stuff. He's got some really old systems back there.
Okay.
What's going on
Here's
with
a
that?
really old one too.
Well, it's not that old. What is
No,
it?
it's not that
07?
old. Yeah. I'm wondering if the battery, something with the battery maybe.
Yeah, they tend to go out over time.
And then, do you have any cheap batteries?
Not for these, not in stock at least.
Okay.
It would be something I'd have to order.
I fiddled with this computer here to get a movie going for about an hour.
I don't know that you could honestly get anything for as far as new batteries go. I mean, they're going to be aftermarket, and the quality, I'm not sure what's going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that wouldn't be all bad, would it? I mean, better than nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to come down to you're probably going to have to keep it plugged in quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be the only thing.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure what. Yeah. Let's see.
Alright, let's put this back on. Slowing down our internet speeds, Micah.
I'm done already.
Headphones down. I hear a movie.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
What was
You
it?
show them how
I
to do it.
downloaded a program to.
Does it automatically play them, or do you have to open it?
I don't know. Let's see if it does. Inject it and put back
That's what I didn't know how to do. This
Should we?
now.
Should we? Well, we didn't have. There's not. Should we? Is there a way to free that up?
in. It's already been installed, so you don't have to download it again or do anything.
I'm talking about the little in and out thing. Can we?
Oh.
Can that be oiled or something where it comes out easy?
It could just be grimed up with
Okay.
with dirt and stuff
Okay.
over time.
Maybe I'll blow it
Yeah,
out.
it doesn't look like it open. I thought they're pretty
Usually when you open them, it'll ask you what you want to do.
Seems like you get claustrophobia doing that. Teeny tiny stuff.
Alright. Touch is fixed.
Alright, now it just automatically opens.
Okay.
Whenever you put the disc in.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Got all your pins. I want you to think I'm trying to steal something.
Stealing our pins. Mm-mm-mm.
And typewriters.
Hey, there's too many people. Even if there's a bunch of them up there like that,
Yeah.
and the baby's supposed to be taken just like one of these cards,
Mm-hmm.
but still. What's that?
There's wax in there. Scented.
For what?
The typewriter.
Make it smell good.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's cute.
It's like the other day at work, one of my friends wanted to make cornhole,
Mhm.
some bags.
Yeah.
And I work at a place that we get in 7 to 10 semi-loads of corn a day.
Yeah.
And all he wanted was 8 pounds.
Yeah.
And so every truck that come in, I always get a sample of every truck anyhow. I always get just a little extra and I filled up a bag.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking, how stupid am I? A whole bushel of corn, 60 pounds of corn, costs $3.50 something.
Yeah.
No more than $4. And here I am trying to get 8 pounds of corn. And I called my boss and I said, hey, I'm fixing to take a little bag of corn, about 8 to 10 pounds, something like that. And I said, I want you to know about it. I'll pay you the next day $1. He said, forget about it. I knew that's what he'd say. But
Yeah.
But still, that honesty,
Yeah.
the next day is going to be 10 pounds of corn.
Yep.
And then the next day is going to be 100.
Yep.
And you just can't do that.
There's that back.
All right.
There's that back.
And I know, just like that cord right there, there is absolutely no way I can prove that we didn't get it back.
I'm not worried about it.
Well, thank you. Now,
No
what do
problem.
we owe you?
Nothing.
No.
No, sir. We're going to pay you something.
Well, whatever you
Because
want. Whatever you want to pay us.
time-
Whatever you want to pay us. We're not looking for any money on that.
I'll give you at least $10.
You just call it a tip.
Just what?
We'll just call it a tip.
You want me to put it in the typewriter?
No.
But then we won't have our $10 then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
No problem,
And if
sir.
you get $40 an hour, that wasn't even enough then.
No, we don't make that kind of money.
Oh, no. Thank you so much.
No problem.
You're welcome.
You'll have a good day. Amy's on fiber optic.
Super
Yes, please.
awesome.
What's that?
Yes, please.
BNC, how may I help you? Yeah, he's here. He's a little busy at the moment. Something I can help you with?
It's the fucking dude. I'm sure it's that dude. I know it's that dude. I don't know why I'm asking. I know it's that guy. It's like, hey, but them unlocks, man.
So you go through the startup, and then whenever you get done with the startup, it doesn't go to the home screen. Mm-hmm. Activation dismissed.
What is it?
iPhone 7, hers was bought. Says whenever she goes through and sets it up, goes to home screen, it says activation dismissed.
What does it do after it does that?
What's it do after it does that? Nothing? Or yeah.
No. Her iPhone 7 Plus. Yeah. Alright, it's Chris now. What kind of phone was it supposed to be originally? Like what carrier? Okay. And every time it comes up to the activation screen, it loops back.
How much do you quote you?
It's 180 plus tax. It's right there on the paper.
Okay. I didn't know which screen you were at.
Okay, are you sure it's a Verizon phone? Where it said that? A1660. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking that it's not a Verizon phone. Let me see here. Can you read me the IMEI?
There you go. You're welcome. You have a good day, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Now there's 6. Okay. Okay, I bet that phone's a straight talk phone. It says here the possibilities. It's either unlocked Verizon Straight Talk or Sprint variant. Since it's activating and looping back, most likely what it is it's a straight talk phone, and if it's locked to straight talk, it will activate, but then when it goes back to the home screen, it'll loop you back to the activation screen. I think there's a way to unlock them, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look and see. Yes. I have no idea. I'd have to look that up. No problem. See ya. Alrighty. Alrighty then. Let's put this shit back together.
Chris.
Micah.
Chris, I don't even want to hear it.
Chris, Micah.
If I wanted to hear it, then I'd hear it.
Crika.
Well, I
Crika.
don't want to hear it. All this mumbo jumbo salad.
What about your jumbo mumbo?
About your mama coming over now.
Don't talk about my mom coming over tonight. It's supposed to be a surprise. Surprise.
Surprise!
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do Poo Phone right away or not.
What
We got a lot of mail in, and the Poo Phone is kind of last resort.
Oh, that one that was brought in the other day?
Yeah. Do you want to start taking these others apart? See what's wrong with them?
What do you mean? Did they not write down what was wrong with them?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what's wrong with them until I open them. So.
You don't write down? You didn't write that shit down. You need a printable form to be submitted with all
Stab
the
you
devices.
over and over in the forehead
Chris, I'm going to stab you in the mouth.
until you bleed out from your forehead wounds.
I'm going to stab you in the mouth.
You're gonna have forehead bleed out wounds, Micah.
Can you tell me where Soup 7's at?
It's upstairs. So
Upstairs.
go down the hallway. As soon as you go past the corner, there's a staircase up to the right.
Okay, I got you. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Chris, you like them. That was our food.
No, I didn't order Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's.
You like them. Chris.
They're not freaky fast though. I've already raced against them and I've beaten them. Jimmy John's. Freaky fast.
Someone spelled fragile.
Fragile.
No, it says fragile.
Fraggle Rock Jilly.
It's supposed to be an exclamation mark, but it looks like another else.
You're an exclamation mark, Micah.
Fragile.
Fragile. Which is that through turning up to 8.8 terabyte links and other nodes. That's pretty cool. I got a good friend that works with that's a network engineer, and they've got some pretty large fiber pipes. They've got multiple 10 gigabit links for redundancy. It's pretty fucking nuts. Pretty fucking nuts.
That's really nuts.
They've got, I think they have like one 20 gig line and then 2 redundancy 10 gig lines or something like that. It's a lot of throughput. It's a lot of money too. Servers are fucked. Actually, he just wrote me. Why are servers fucked?
Ran over by car. Screen was replaced, and it will turn on, and the Apple logo will appear. Then it disappears, and the phone restarts. Charging port Flux is ripped as well.
Okay. You want to go ahead and do a little diagnosis?
Logo will appear, and then just.
What would you think that would
Why couldn't they just
be?
write boot looping?
Well,
First, I want to unplug all the cameras. And everything
maybe they
else.
did say boot looping, and then they were like, maybe I shouldn't say boot looping.
Maybe they should just say, "Hey, it's boot."
Then they're like, maybe it's booty loops. All right.
Boot looping.
What else you got back there that's not boot looping?
I'll have to open up another box.
Booty loops. The summer sale just started on Steam.
Did it?
Yeah. He said that the Steam servers are getting fucked right now because everybody's trying to buy stuff. He said it's running super slow. Yeah, the company he works for is an international paper and printing company, so they've got some pretty heavy-duty internet options for themselves to make sure that their networks and stuff can stay connected and up. I think BW should be free for everyone. Is that bandwidth? I can see why bandwidth is a cost, because you have to have the server capability and the switches and everything, the routing tables and all that crap. Everything has to have some type of hardware backup. So, will you stop sneezing?
No.
So I can see where the cost comes from providing bandwidth, but
No. Oh, what was that? No.
what's in that one, Micah?
It's an iPhone, but it doesn't say shit.
No mode at all.
Touch IC.
Okay, I'm gonna say that one. Might have to rename this stream. I'm gonna rename it to After Mail-In. Touch IC. Seriously, on a 6? It's not very common. Oh, it looks like somebody's tried to do a Touch IC. It's got scan lines all down the screen. I don't know that it's Touch IC, to be honest, the way it's acting. Oh, maybe it is. That's weird. That's the first time I've ever seen that. I'm getting flashing bar on a 6. I've never seen flashing bar on a 6. So, watch it. See the flashing bar? It's the first on an iPhone 6. Most of the time on the 6s you don't get any type of visuals. Would I be able to ship batteries to Canada? I don't know. I don't know what the customs requirements are on that. I mean, I could sure try. I don't know what will happen though. Yeah, the Poo Phone's gonna have to wait. I gotta get this mail-in done. Which, if it's all simple stuff, hopefully it won't take very long. We had a bunch of mailing come today, so Poo Phone gets pushed to the end of stream. But we will get to Poo Phone. Poo Phone's sitting right here. Still waiting its luxurious chip replacements. Yeah, this one's had a few things done to it.
What? Flicker. Turn it on the phone. Turn it on the phone. You will see a flicker and something.
What is it? What kind of iPhone is it?
iPhone 6 Plus. Flicker.
iPhone 6
Touch
Plus
IC.
Flicker.
Touch IC. Flicker. Yep.
Touch IC?
Yep.
Is it 6 Plus?
Yep.
Alright.
Whenever I twist it, it flickers alright.
I'm going to turn this one back on and see if we get the same. Yeah, we got the same results with a different screen, so it's definitely a touch IC. I wanted to make sure it wasn't a screen problem. We've seen some that resemble that pattern.
Touch when it's twisted.
I'm going to go ahead and strip that one down.
There's another one in this box too. Come on.
Alright, let's open this one up and see if this is a previous Touch IC repair attempt. It looks like it is, based off of what I'm seeing so far. It's got signs that somebody's had something taped to the CPU shield, which usually people that use Kapton tape will wrap around it. No power?
Yeah, the other one's no power.
Alright, you can diagnose that one. How would you diagnose no power, Micah?
Send it to your mom.
No.
No. Hook it up to the DC power supply after I've already tested and see if it's got dead short.
Yep. Also to see if it's a battery issue or a TriStar issue.
Well, I was gonna say,
because those will tell you.
Battery and check charge port.
Well, you don't even have to change the battery if you can test it with DC power supply.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
iPhone 6s have so many more screws. It's just stupid how many more they use them. It's like double the amount of screws for the 6 versus the 6 Plus. You would think the 6 Plus would have more. Maybe not. I don't think they have done anything to this thing. Oh, they replaced the power button in it. Oh, I see. This phone's been bent before. There's a nice little wrinkle right next to the power button. Alright, so based off of how this is acting, I would almost think that Mason is our issue. Cumulus normally gives no visual artifacts. Mason's the only one I've ever seen give visual artifacts. I do want to clean out around the the ship tool. I want to clean out around the NFC Apple Pay IC up here before we go any further, because it is underfilled around that, and the underfill seeps under it. And we go to melt this, that chip kind of gets off kilter and it'll cause shorts under it. iPhone 6s with the GPU line short. Austin, what kind of reading are you getting on the GPU? Never mind, Mike, I got it.
Got what?
Got that off. Alright, so let's mount this up. Do you think it's possible to change an iPad Air 2 3G to Wi-Fi only and have it work? For example, a jumper to change it to Wi-Fi, then use NASB Plus to program NAND. No. So what you have to do for the iPad Air 2 is you have to make the jumper, and then you have to change out the Wi-Fi IC for a Wi-Fi only model IC, and then it'll work. 150 milliohms. Yeah, it's a little low. What's the diode reading give you? Is it 0? Because that's what I would expect to see with a short. The GPU is fairly low. It's like 20 ohms, but it shouldn't be milliohms. It should be ohms. Alright, so I'm going to take... Let me get this so you all can see it. Just so we don't have anybody complaining about the... Get it to focus here. Thank you. So y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay, got Mason off. We can reball Mason now and put it back on. Normally on the 6 you don't need any jumper. Would you say a .295 diode mode on VCC main on iPhone 6 is acceptable? Yes. iPhone 6 diode mode on VCC main is right around 3. It can be anywhere from 2.29 up to 3.1 or 3.2. But yeah, I would say that 0.296 or anything close to 3 would be fine. Or 295, excuse me. This board's hot, but I'll read this one. This is an i6. I just heated it up, so it's going to be a little lower, but shouldn't be too much lower. This one right now is 0.295 while it's warm.
Pulling 1 amp.
1 amp?
Yep.
While it's off?
Mm-hmm. No, while I turned it on. After I turned it on.
Oh, well, that's normal. Do you have a screen on it?
Oh, the screen, it turned on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's normal.
No, okay, yeah, it all turned on. I thought it said no power.
Well,
battery. My bad.
What?
Battery's bad.
No. Yeah, you need to watch your diagnosis there. So now how do you test TriStar?
I need to hook up to a computer and see if it pulls...
No. Why would a computer not be the optimal option right there? What are we looking for to know if TriStar's better?
I want to know if USB.
Yes. So how would you do that to see if there's an amp draw? But you're hooked up to the charge port, not to the battery. How would you do that?
It's one of those one boards, but I already got one. Mine's fucked.
Is yours fucked? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can use mine. Here you go. So what are you going to do there to check and see if TriStar's working?
I'm going to first shelf phone in.
Yep. Just unplug the battery from it.
There,
101 Fahrenheit. I hope they don't start rolling brownouts. Better charge up my UPS that I bought last week. Yeah. What's the reason that they do that? That they cut the power like that? Is it because people all have their AC pumping at the same time? Or is it due to actual like issues with the electrical grid heat wise? So, Micah, explain to me how you test to see how that works. What are you doing to test?
Well, first I'm hooking up this box thing.
Yep.
The DC power supply.
Yep, the amp meter. What voltage do you need to be on the amp meter for USB charging voltage?
5 volts.
Yes. Okay. So now you're at 5 volts. What do you want to do now to see if it's working or not?
Take my lightning cable,
Mm-hmm.
plug it in here. If it turns on, then
What else do you have connected? Do you have anything connected to the board while you do that?
Shoot, no. I gotta connect. Does the battery have to be connected? It has to be connected, doesn't it?
Nope.
No. Okay, battery's disconnected.
You want battery disconnected. That way you can see if TriStar is trying to turn the phone on if there's no battery present.
Okay. Alright. So we're at
What amp?
point, 0 amps right now. It's open lightning.
You need to watch the test board that you have.
Okay.
What's it doing?
Not doing a damn thing.
Sitting at 0?
Sitting at 0.
Okay. So what does that mean?
It means TriStar's back. It's not
Okay.
recognizing USB and
Which
stuff.
USB are you using? Which port?
What do you mean?
What port are you using to test it?
On the board or the phone?
Well, the phone's the only thing that has a port, so.
Well, I mean, I'm using the USB.
Are you using the original port that was in the phone, or are you using one that you know is good?
Oh, you mean charge port? Okay.
Yes.
I'm using one that's originally on the phone.
Okay, so you need to
test it
test.
with a new one.
Yep. So which phone is it? 6?
6.
There you go.
6S.
Is it S?
I
Look
think
on the
so.
back of it.
I can't see. It's got a sticker cover.
Let me see it.
But my regular 6 battery wouldn't work on there, but a 6 plus would, so I'm thinking 6S.
Yeah, it's a 6S. So, where's the folder at?
Right here.
Alright, just gotta be a 6S charge port. Plug it in and make sure it's not the charge port. Alright, so let's reball this mason chip. Too much draw on the grid. It's pretty nuts. It's been record highs from what I've seen. Like, I can't remember where it was. They were talking about it on the news the other day. Like, I think it was Arizona. The temperature that day was 117 or something like that. Like, it was a record for that area. Temperatures will probably just continue to get warmer, I would guess. Warmer in the summer and
Warmer.
crazier fucking shifts in our climate. We've definitely seen a season shift, I think. The seasons feel like they're about a month or so off now.
It's summer, though. It's hot.
Alright, so our IC is cleaned up. Time to reball.
Let's see what this is.
What's it doing?
Not a damn thing.
Alright.
Bouncing at point 7475.
Don't look at that.
Yeah, okay. But yeah.
Watch your board, the
That's-
test board.
I'm watching the test board.
What's the test board doing?
Not a damn thing.
Okay. So we have a TriStar issue.
Okay.
Just go ahead and set that one off to the side. And do we have any more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one's touched, so that one.
Okay. Okay. Come on, come out of the stencil. Oh, it just broke, didn't it? Did it break? Did the IC break? I heard it crack. I don't know. Thought it did. I've broken an IC before. I think that was just some solder connected. Not sure how. Shouldn't have been touching the frame to connect like that. Yeah, we had one that ball didn't stay right there. Let's see if it's still in the stencil. Yep, it is. It's right there. So if we're skilled here, we can take that and we can drop it right on top of that pad. Let's see. I can get that little guy to go down in that hole there. There we go. Easy peasy. Lemon day squeezy. Okay. Grab our board. Long runaways required for that type of outside temperatures. Jesus. Kentucky's weather, while not as hot, is extremely humid, which sucks. Humidity makes life miserable. It's one thing to be hot, and I've been in Arizona and New Mexico, and I've been in 110 degree heat. It's pretty hot, but you add in humidity and it's just a complete nightmare. It feels like you're just walking in soup. It's one of the cooking mats. It's got a fiberglass weave in it, it looks like. So it is a silicone cooking mat with what looks to be a fiberglass weave in it.
You know, I don't know if that diagnosis could be good, because I just hooked up this one that's supposedly another phone that's not full enough.
Supposedly what?
Supposedly just boot looping, but hold on, let me see. Let me hook up my iPhone and see what it does. Okay, never mind, y'all. This one. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. It said the charging port was ripped, so I won't charge it and won't do a damn thing.
So
I need. For now, I'll just test by hooking up straight to the battery with the DC board and find out what's wrong with it.
you're messing with the boot looping one?
Yeah.
Okay, we got our IC in place. See if we can kind of hold it where we want it for now. Just to get the flux to grab it a little. Now we'll heat. Okay, it just moved. Alright, it's back on. Let's see if it's flush. Looks pretty flush to me. Cumulus look okay. Cumulus looks good. Let's test it out and see what we get. So put their screen on here. So what kind of gave me the hint that this is going to be Mason was that it had the window blind effect, which is normally related to Mason. You can get that if you hook up the connector wrong too for the touch. And also it had a flash coming down the screen, which is normally associated with Mason on the iPhone 6 Plus. Hey.
I was excited when I seen Hillary's car, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's just Micah.
Just Micah.
Ruining my day.
Just fucking Micah. Alright, so
Thank you.
as you can see, we don't have any gray bars now on the screen and no more flickering. Thank you. Jenna.
Y'all's food's in there.
Okay.
We're son of baconators.
Son of a baconator. Alright, let's see. Just touch work. Touch works. What is going on with the screen though? It's got a weird look to the screen, like there's a smaller black portion on the center. Let's see if that goes away with any pressure.
Can't forget the kiddo.
No, it stays there, so that's really weird.
What is
Like
it?
touch is working now and there's no like crazy bars on the screen,
No more chips and all
but
kinds
there's
of stuff.
like a darker section in the center that has lines in it. There's no lines here,
Oh gosh.
but the dark section in the center there's lines.
Now it's like,
Let me try a different screen to
This
see
is
if what
trash,
that
right?
is.
Huh?
that's trash.
Yes.
Is this trash?
That
in
probably
here?
is. It is probably trash. I don't know. You know, when I ask Chris, it's chip sometime. Probably trash. So.
Yeah, you can throw it away.
Oh, I forgot your feet again. She's like, what?
What are you doing?
It's
Say, what are you doing over there, lady?
I'm a neglected dog.
Crazy lady, what are you doing?
And crazy.
Alright, so let's boot this phone back up. Okay. Different screen. Let's see if we get different results.
Marie come in.
This one's cracked, but that's okay. What's going on, Joshua? Let's see if we get that same pattern. If not, it's going to be screen related. And I will let them know. Yeah, so this screen doesn't have that pattern on it. So the screen they have also has issues, and I disconnected my battery. But yeah, so there's no pattern, no dark spot, nothing on this one, so they have an issue with their screen also. I keep knocking the cable loose. So we're gonna put that in the notes for them, that it possibly needs a new screen also. But the touch issues are now resolved. We'll put our sticker back on. And then we'll put the stream on pause for a minute, and I'll be back after some lunch. And we'll continue on with our mail-in work, and then on to the Poo Phone.
What?
We got a toilet phone here.
Nasty.
I got it working yesterday, but now I gotta try to get touch working on it today, and then put all the chips back on it and keep it working. Seems like on phones like that, I'll get something working, and then I'll go work on something else, and then whatever I had working stops working. Because that's the nature of water phones. Of the water phones. The Poo Phone. It's like, I'm like building suspense. I keep naming like Poo Phone in the title, but then I don't actually do anything. I'm gonna have to change the title of this one again. Oh. Drop the phone. Where's the antenna part? That's what I'm more concerned about. The frame can't go anywhere. Where are you, Mr. Antenna? Well, guess we'll steal it out of another phone. Oh, I found it. I'll have to rename the title on this one just to Tease of the Poo Phone. There we go. Jimmy John's time sounds like. No, not Jimmy John's today.
Wendy.
Jimmy John's can't compete with my speed. If they're freaky fast, then I'm godly fast. What'd you figure out on the boot looping one, Micah?
What?
What'd you figure out on the boot looping phone?
It's not boot loop.
What's it doing?
It powers up and goes to the restore screen, wanting it to connect to iTunes.
Okay.
Hello.
So we'll need to try to do an update on it.
Okay.
It could have a bad battery. If the update
Yeah.
fails,
Yeah, I got you.
well,
It builds up that log
Mhm.
and then it won't.
so that could be why it was looping to start with.
Yeah.
I've blocked like 1,000,000 phone numbers and they still call. Those,
The what?
like, where, like a year ago, I put a thing, like whenever I had just my shitty Petco insurance and I was trying to see if I could get any other insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And now I just get calls all the time from the same people, but they just, like, 1 or 2 numbers is changed in the phone number, and I block them every time, and they call every day.
You want insurance?
We want to help you with
You want
the stressful
insurance?
situation with all of the insurance, and you don't know who to choose, and insurance, and
Get the insurance.
get all of the insurance.
Get all the insurance.
Hmm.
Alrighty. I'm going to go eat some lunch, and I will be back in about 30 minutes. And we will continue on with our trek to the Poo Phone. We'll get our mail-in knocked out. I think how many phones do we have? 4?
Yep.
4 phones? Alright, so we have 4 more mail-in phones, and then we'll be on Poo Phone. So I will be back in a little bit, and you all check back in. Kenna, what are you doing?
Being a sad count.
Yep. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. Everybody go get some lunch or do something. Dinner, whatever time it is there for you. I'll see you all in a little bit.